Welcome to the Nightcap Wisdom Hour. My name is Brett Brown. I'm the host and the teacher of the class for Inner Radiance and Self-Mastery on the school platform. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, tonight.
All right, so I wanted to touch on that subject of judgment.
Yeah, because I've been studying that.
Yeah, so, I'm really glad that I found that video to share with you guys because we haven't done much of any work with the class that is called the Grand Rules. And the Grand Rules are all about judgment. And, finding that video, to get it into your awareness that is important. So we talk about life force energy being a currency, where it's a give and take thing, where we get this great energy and then all of a sudden we don't feel well. And our life force energy comes and goes, right? It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. And life force energy is gifted to you when you're in non-judgment, meaning you're respecting the free will of others. We lost her. What are you doing?
I tried to unplug it and I hit go away. I'm having a bad computer day. Sorry, I'm listening.
I have that every day.
Because of the science that we understand, positive emotion brings good blood chemistry. And when we're feeling good about things, we're making good blood chemistry. We get a good feeling in the body. And that is the reward that comes in the form of energy, the life force energy as well, that gives us energy to be vibrant and happy in our day-to-day lives by having a lot of vibrant life force energy. But it is a give and take thing that falls under the grand rules, and judgment is one of the main rules. Like when you're respecting the free will of others and you're doing no harm, then you cannot be in judgment. Because what that whole video is trying to drill into everyone's head is that when we look at a person, doesn't matter who they are, and we have a thought about them, saying, well, how they're dressed, or they've got something wrong with them, things like that. We have a feeling about that. So that is a judgment. We judge the clothes they wear. We judge things. And what we don't realize is that every single time we do that, it either puts a good energy towards that person, or it puts a not so good energy towards that person, or it puts a horrible energy towards that person, depending on what we're thinking and feeling every time we see someone. And it doesn't just apply to people. It applies to items and all the things that you own, and how we feel about our cars, how we feel about our homes, how we feel about our clothes. Everything that we do requires an energy to be felt. And when we feel an energy, our blood chemistry and our life force energy is affected by having to have felt that energy. So that's where the judgment comes in. We talked about this, I think, 2 or 3 live calls ago, where we were talking about this life force energy and in the role of judgment when we are interacting with other people. So you say you watched that whole thing, Wendy, and you had some questions about it?
No, I was mostly focusing on the judgment 1 out of the 7 hermetic. I was trying to understand them all.
Yeah.
And
the 7 hermetic principles? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, and there was one. Yeah, fall in love with the world the way it is, not wanting to change it. So is that a judgment then? Like by not, like, the world's changing in front of us? Is
Welcome
that
to the
judgment that
class.
we want it back, or do you mean we have to go forward?
Do you like
What
my
about the
hat?
animals?
Do you like my hat?
Yeah, I like your hat.
I feel sad I don't have an animal.
So
You need to get that cat I want.
there you go.
Aw.
So is that what you're saying then? Like, the world's changing, right?
Yeah. So here's the key thing to remember is that we're looking at the whole world all the time. We're looking at
Mm-hmm.
things around our lives locally, and we feel a certain way about it. And that's where judgment comes in. We judge everything. Oh, that doesn't feel good. I wish that wasn't like that. Or I'm so happy that that person's doing that. There's all of this judgment. That's what human beings do. And the thing to know, the secret that people are not heavily involved in that gives you a better life is that when we're doing that, the only one that is, I'm going to say, let me rephrase that. Your greatest power, the greatest power that you can have is being in non-judgment because you're trying to, like in life, you're trying to make money, but in this sense, we're trying to have an abundant life force currency. And when we talk about magnetism and life force currency, like magnetism are the things that are attracted to us that keep happening over and over again. And it's because of the judgment, the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we feel about our lives and the things going on. So our greatest power is understanding that if we take it literally and we start to become more aware of what it is we're thinking and feeling on the inside, and we understand that it fully affects the things on the outside and it affects our magnetism, the things that are actually attracted to us. So you see, I've said this a million times and I'm going to say it again. There are no secrets. We just believe there are. So everything that you think is private inside of you is working for you on the outside. And it's either working with you, for you, or against you. And we need to know that our energy matters, our thoughts matters, our feelings matter, the words we say definitely matter, because it's creating the foundation of our base frequency magnetism of things that are attracted to us in our lives. And not being
It's
in
actually. Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
I was just thinking. So it's actually acceptance to get to stop the judging that's hurtful.
Well, it's easier to look at it from a perspective of you now know. You now know that everything matters. Everything that you think, feel, do, and say matters for your own character. Okay? Yes, it's nice to be good to other people and help people and all those things. And you get rewarded energetically from that. But when you hurt people, you have a deficit from that. That's why I say it's the life force currency, because that's how it is. That's how it works. Give and take. But once you understand that everything matters, literally matters, whether it's private on the inside, you're laying in bed at night, you're thinking about stuff, and all of these thoughts, how much of that stuff is in judgment? How much of it is in negativity? How much of it is affecting other people? Because there's when you look at respecting the free will of others and doing no harm, the two grand rules, they cover all of this. They cover judgment. They cover everything. And
Yeah.
you know, we kind of tiptoed around that whole subject quite a few times. But this video that you guys got to watch took you right to the heart of it. And you know, being in non-judgment improves that person's life tremendously. That's why he made the video. it was worked out really well, right? So he's telling the world to be in non-judgment. But what we're doing in this class goes much farther than that. We are also talking about our magnetism, our base resonant frequency, and understanding our blood chemistry and all of that. He discovered that it became really helpful to him to be in non-judgment. But there's so much more. There's so much more. Did you get to
I made
watch
all
it,
these
Debbie?
notes and I'm trying to understand them. It looks like they're written in Chinese.
Debbie, did you get to watch that video?
I watched some of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What
I
did you
didn't get to watch it yet.
That
What
was
did?
Greg Braden?
No, it was the
Oh.
one from. It was the Wisdom from North podcast.
Oh, then I didn't see that one. I watched one from Greg Braden.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm
if you
trying
get
to
a
find
chance,
out.
if you get a chance, watch it. It's
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was
the,
one on. I thought it
the
was,
whole podcast. It was the last one I sent you. The whole podcast is talking about judgment and
About pardon?
the power of being in non-judgment.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's your question, Tony?
But I can't read my writing.
That tracks.
Well, you kind of sort of answered it on the judgment part. Where was I just reading? Your thoughts, like, okay, say you saw something really hideous and you thought, oh my God. But you knew you shouldn't say that to your friend because it's not nice, right?
Yeah, but you
So
see,
you're still passing non-judgment because it flashed through your mind.
no, you're passing judgment because it flashed through your mind.
Yeah, even though you didn't say anything out loud.
Yeah, but if
So
you had a thought and a feeling, like we need to know that our thought and feeling has as much value as saying the words.
yeah,
So,
see, I didn't realize that.
I know no one does. No one does. And
Yeah,
that's the
I
important
take
part.
it as like a lesson though for me. Okay, so I thought, oh wow, that's hideous, and didn't say anything, and that's a big thing because normally I would have said, "Did you see that big pimple on that guy?" But I didn't. So I think it, but I don't say it, right? But I'm still judging. So somehow I have to be able to look at that person and say, "What a beautiful human being is." What you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, really, what there
Like
should
we all are beautiful.
what there should be is an understanding within your consciousness that we all have things happen, and some of us are more fortunate than others. Some of us have health issues. Some of us, have these things that make us look peculiar. But
Yeah,
what we need to do is convince ourselves that everyone has their flaw, whatever it is,
exactly. Yeah.
and it's theirs. It's not. We're not meant to be judging. Like,
No, I think the Hollywoods really put us into a bad way that way.
well, all of society has. Even the school system does that. But they just do it in different ways. And the thing is that it's been around for a very long time, the judgment, and you see it everywhere. You can't watch a comedy show because it's all judgment. And before we understood that the value we have with our energy was playing a role out there, whether we say it out loud or not. That's the key thing. See, we think that we can act and be totally normal and have these thoughts about what we're seeing and think that they're not interfering with our life or anyone else's life, if I don't say them. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's literally not the case, because I know nobody wants to hear this, but you know, there's some higher intelligence that is behind us all. Okay. I
Yes,
mean,
there has to be.
if anyone can believe that, I'm not saying it's a God. I'm not saying any of those things, but there is absolutely something. And what should be understood is that we are deeply connected to it, and it is tracking us in a way that we haven't had a private thought our entire lives. Okay?
It's kind of
So,
scary.
well, it isn't once you realize that, that source loves you more than anything, and they want to see you get to the understanding, because it's for your soul to understand. Like, the soul does understand, but it's for us to be able to connect to the soul so we can understand that we are something more than just these bodies. And the something more that we are, the consciousness that we are, is not disconnected from the source. So
Hmm.
all of these thoughts that we've had as a human being, especially in judgment, is because we're not fully connected to our soul. When we are fully connected to our soul, it's not possible to have those things, because you are too acutely aware how connected you are,
Oh,
and that your thoughts and feelings and words are not private. You have all eyes on you.
But
And
no,
yeah,
if you believe in the Akashic records, every single thought, feeling, emotion, and word is recorded. You're not getting away with a single thing ever. So, how we feel about people, the things we say, the things we think, uh, is all real time stuff. And
yeah,
when we live from the perspective of being the true character that we are, the soul character that we are, meaning that we understand all of these rules, and we understand that it's important to have integrity, authenticity, compassion, love, and empathy to match the frequency of the soul, and we stop the judgment, then we get full power. We get everything that we've ever been able to have.
hmm.
That's the whole agenda here, is to figure all of this part out,
Yeah.
and become completely whole while you're in this body, because life can get really fun once you're completely whole in the body. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. It's not fun when you're
I'm sure it's a
seeing
great, I'm sure it's
ugliness.
a,
Like you
I'm
should. You,
sure, sorry, keep going.
oh, I just like thinking ugliness and of things and beings and happenings. It's not good to dwell on. Like if something really bad happens to you, so are you suggesting you take approach to like okay, my car got hit, right? And it did, and I was really upset, and I tried to be positive about like, well, we didn't get hurt. We're all right. The dog was all right. And we ended up getting a lot of money for our old car to get a new one. So I tried to stay positive. So is that what you're saying? Sort of like instead of swearing your head off, and
Well,
in situations like
you have,
situations can be bad, but somehow you gotta find a good way to think about it. Is that what you mean?
ideally, yes, because you would think that everything is a gift or a lesson. And I'm going to say, for you, there might have been a small lesson and a huge gift,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, if you can see things that way
Well,
all the time,
yeah.
is
The fact that we didn't get hurt, and especially my spine, like it was just 2 weeks before my surgery, like so we were really lucky.
yeah. So when something like that happens, whether it's an accident or meeting a new person or anything at all, every time, just ask yourself the question first: is this a gift or a lesson? And
Oh, okay.
then try to comprehend which one you have there, because it's going to be either one. It's not going to be
I
anything
get it.
other than,
Yeah.
it's not going to be anything other than that. And
Yeah. That makes sense.
sometimes the lessons that you get involved in are not for you, they're for another party that you agreed to give the lesson to, whether you realize it or not. Like your soul makes agreements behind the scenes. Because it is actually you doing it. You just don't realize that it is you.
Yeah, and that's the subconscious, your soul. Like, are you saying basically your subconscious is your soul?
Well, I don't
Don't you
like.
make those agreements before you come incarnate into Earth?
Yeah, and I think they can also happen while you're here because your soul is actively playing a role. They're just not allowed to openly interfere with your free will or do any
True.
harm, right? But
Okay.
the
Do you
subconscious,
think that it's possible for your soul to be playing multiple characters at the same time?
100%.
I do too.
Also,
Do you mean like schizophrenia?
let's answer
No, I
this.
mean like your soul, like picture your soul existing in the Akashic records, like above us, like in heaven or whatever you want to imagine. That soul, a piece of that soul is in you and is playing this character of you, but another piece of your soul could be playing someone completely different that you don't even know, but they still have the essence of your soul, and you won't know this until you die and you're reincarnated with that soul again that you played like 5 people this round.
Oh, wow, that's
And you
pretty
learned
deep.
all these different lessons playing different characters.
Yes, I agree with that, Rosalind, and I
Wow,
would
that's
probably
pretty deep.
I would probably tweak it a little bit, but I agree with that.
Do
When
you think that's the deja vu?
it can be,
Possibly.
yes, it
Or like
absolutely
maybe
can be.
parallel universes, your soul is playing different characters in parallel universes. I don't really know.
I experience time slips all the time. Um,
Still?
I want to get back to what you just said there about the
What do you
subconscious
mean still?
mind.
What do you mean time
No, I
slip?
thought you only did that when you had that ayahuasca. Like, do you still can't go into other lives, like, or experiences?
Or you can do that through meditation, but I'm talking about a time slip. That's where, you know, time will make an adjustment and you witness it. Um,
Oh,
that's another subject and it's a big one. So let's save that
that
one.
sounds like it.
I
Yeah,
want to go. I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
go. I want to get back to this subconscious being the soul because it is not. And
Yeah,
I want to make that
it's
clear.
not okay.
No, don't confuse that. The subconscious mind
Okay.
is a recording, a loop recording of every fear you've ever had, and that keeps coming back into play every time a similar thing comes into your life. That loop tape will come back on. It's also playing a loop tape when you're trying to quit an addiction. And you're trying, right? So the subconscious mind will come back in and say, "Oh, just a little bit, it'll be fine." It starts convincing you that it's okay.
It's not on.
But fear is a major one. It's a recording of fears, and it can also be good feelings recordings. But it's basically a loop tape that every time something exciting or fearful comes into your life, that recording jumps to life. Okay, that's why we do the sleep hypnosis to change that recording.
Yeah.
Right. So that is not the soul, and
Okay.
it is a recording of our deepest fears, our protection mechanism. It's not a bad thing to have. It holds a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but
No,
it tends to want to jump into action every time something even remotely close that could bring a fear, right? Or a trauma or any other experience that you value very highly.
the subconscious part.
The
You
subconscious,
mean?
yes. That's a
Okay.
mechanism. The mechanism, kind of like the ego is a mechanism.
I see. Hmm. That's pretty deep.
Yeah. Well, It's
Well, I
it's,
look at my
it's
notes,
to
I feel
help
kind
us.
of foolish.
It's to help us as human beings kind of make decisions. The problem is that when we have very traumatic fears or very traumatic things happen, that
Yeah.
recording is recorded in high resolution with surround sound, so that it can be played back when a similar thing comes up.
I can't find my pen here. I'd written down something about that. Um, oh yeah. The Greg Braden about loss.
Yes.
He said something I found really good to help me with Max.
It was about the
The
value.
deeper the loss, the stronger possibility to love more. So like the love transcends to hurt, but we have to know what words are. That doesn't make sense. He said once you felt a bit deep loss and you come back and love, you're a stronger person because it took your soul further.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And kind of how it does it is
It says
what we.
to embrace the loss.
That's right.
So
To have the full understanding that it's not really a loss, because like in the sense of being a human being, we think that when we die it's over. A lot of people believe
hmm,
that. A lot of people believe that to be true. That this is all there is. But when you know fully and completely that that's not the case, then how can it be a loss? Because as soon as you get to where they went, you'll see them again. It's not a loss. It's a temporary delay.
yeah, so what I got out of
Mind.
what he was saying was a bad loss can change your neurons and how you perceive a loss into a stronger possibility to love more. Like I just think like I love Max so much and I miss him, but what a wonderful thing it was to have those 11 years with him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that sort of what he's trying to say?
That
Like,
yeah, yes, to value it, and
yeah, like he
in the
taught
right
us a lot. Like,
way. He talked about us putting way too much value in the loss and in the wrong way,
yes,
like feeling all of the disheartening energy instead of seeing it as a gift where the
because that's kind of where Jeff and I are now.
the character just went home. You're going to see him again.
Yeah, we're feeling more like we're talking about him and all the funny things that he did and things we learned from him. He taught us a lot of things. Like, even though he was an animal, he was really an intelligent animal. I don't know. It's just I understand a little more why this happened. Like,
Yeah, I just realized when I put these glasses on I can see you guys.
well, I didn't wash my hair, so take them off.
No judgment.
It's so hard to get into the shower with this back thing. Ross had to babysit me today.
Do you understand no judgment?
Who's that?
I said, do you understand no judgment?
Well, I'm trying.
Well, then why would I be worried about your hair if I'm in no judgment?
Oh, yeah. I guess you shouldn't say that. Well, I didn't seem to
You're
worry about it
judging
because
yourself. You're judging yourself.
yeah, I guess I am.
And
Well,
the
I
thing
came on here like this and didn't do anything about it, but yeah, you're right.
do you know that it applies to you as much as anyone else? Like,
No, I'm really bad at it. I don't know
How do
why.
you try not to judge yourself and still be motivated to make yourself presentable to go out in public? Without judgment, like
That's right.
how do you balance it to look presentable?
well,
Yeah, that's a good one.
who defines presentable, Rosalind?
I don't know, not being dirty.
Anyone that defines presentable is in judgment.
Exactly. So what the fuck? How do you know?
You
I
don't
didn't
need
see that in the lesson.
you don't need to know nor care because as soon as you do, you're in judgment.
Well, you look in the mirror and oh, you haven't showered in 5 days and you're supposed to go to work. Should you? Now
Well,
you're judging yourself.
we all have free
Oh,
will.
that would be.
We all have free will choice.
I know, but if you don't judge yourself to notice that you're dirty, then like, are you really going to get in the shower? Or are you just going to be lazy and go?
You don't do it through judgment. You do it
I think you
because
have to have a little bit of judgment, just maybe not critical judgment.
no, it's called discernment, and you don't need either one. You do those things because you love yourself, and you want to look and feel a certain way for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Use the word discernment. That's where
Discernment, yeah. It's very difficult for me right now because bending. I can't bend very well. I'm walking really well with the walker, but there's certain things that are really difficult, and but it's coming, and like I'm really excited. It's coming faster than I thought it would, but it's just certain things are very difficult.
Yeah, she's doing much better than I thought she would be.
Yeah. But yeah, it drives me crazy. I'm not allowed to have a bath yet because I can't soak where the sutures were. I look like a teddy bear on my back that's all sewn up. It's kind of cute, actually.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I'm Winnie the Pooh. He was a lovely soul. But
Why did Winnie
yeah,
the Pooh have stitches?
All bears did to hold their fluff in.
Right.
Yeah. But I find that one the hardest one of all of them.
Which one?
Like I remember when I did the mindfulness meditation with that doctor, he made us put one of the ones on the fridge once a week, and we had to practice it all day, but he didn't go into as much detail as those guys did. He covered it, but I always found that one the hardest because subconsciously, like, you see a guy with a big pimple, and, well, why didn't you squeeze that? Like, it doesn't matter to me. So why would I say that? Like, well, I find, are we programmed to judge?
We are. We have been.
Because I don't understand how it happens so easily, and then I catch myself and think, that wasn't very nice.
We're programmed to judge because in nature, we're supposed to judge other beings to find the perfect mate to produce more children. Right?
Yeah.
Your nature for men to look for women with big hips. Yeah, you want to find a healthy looking individual. So you're judging people based on their looks because you can tell how healthy someone is based on their looks.
Well, you're supposed to be attracted to someone because of how they make you feel. But
I'm talking about nature, like for reproduction purposes, like our animal instinct is to reproduce.
Well, we need to rethink. We need to rethink animals and what we think animals think, because as the studies are now showing in the animal world, that there's a lot of communication going on energetically with animals. First of all, like your cat, if it's your cat and you're the one that's closest to that cat already knows every feeling that you have because it's connected to your heart. The pet that you have that is closest to you is heart connected, heart coherent connected. Now, we communicate with words, but there's a feeling to every word. Every word that we say has a little bit of a feeling behind it. You either mean it or you don't. It's either an authentic word or it isn't. It has integrity because you're speaking with integrity. You have a foundation of compassion, love, and empathy. It is all of that stuff is behind your words, and there's an energy in your words. And animals connect to the feeling, to the heart-centered, coherent feeling.
Does the energy come from the frequency of the actual sound the word makes, or the frequency of the thought?
Well, there's an energetic part of it that is magnetism. There is a frequency involved, 1,000%. There's a frequency involved in multiple ways. Yes, the sound, in the energy, there's a frequency in the energy, in the tone of your voice. Frequency is everything. It is
Because I've been learning a lot about the English language, and they say that a lot of our words have a negative meaning based compared to what the frequency of the word actually means. Like in English, the meaning for our words, if you look it up in Latin, it means like the total opposite. Like the word queen in English is actually a very negative word. If you translate it means something totally different.
Ask yourself why there's so many languages on Earth. Why is there so many different civilizations? Different, Japanese, Chinese.
I don't know. Tower of Babel?
Yeah, but if we've been here for thousands and thousands of years, why so many different people? Why have we not all blended yet?
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, but that is a question that we need to ask, because we've been here a very long time, and we're supposed to have evolved from cavemen into what? How did we end up with all these different character groups on the planet?
Well, the Bible says the Tower of Babel. God didn't want us to communicate, so he punished us and broke our tower.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like government and religion.
I know. Well, it is religion.
Never heard that one.
There's a reason that our government compartmentalizes everything, because they don't want two things being talked about at the same time, because you might put two and two together. Everything is compartmentalized so that nobody can get the big picture of anything. That is strategically done on purpose. Same thing happens in the medical system. It happens all over the place. And
yeah, that's been a big scam.
They do not want you to get the big picture and put it all together and figure this stuff out.
Because then we'd all be the same power, basically, and they want to be power over us.
So everything that I just said, is that a gift or a lesson? Depends on your perspective, right?
Your cat said she's a gift.
Well,
I don't know.
Knowing all of these things and finding out.
I think it's more of a lesson.
Yeah, it's both, Wendy. It's both, because you understand it now. There's your lesson. And the gift is that you can now move forward in life knowing the truth and choosing better choices. So it's both.
So, okay, I have a really bad problem of putting myself down. Like, I don't like to show off and say I'm better at it than you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll say something that I'm really bad at to make the other person feel better, and it's terrible. And I got to stop it, but I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, judging yourself is just as bad as judging anyone else. And
I would.
You need to understand that the grand rules apply to you and everyone that you're interacting with. Like, they apply to you. Like, how you think, feel, and talk about yourself matters as much as how you think, feel, and talk about anybody else. And it's affecting you energetically.
Yeah, it does. When I have up days and down days, and I understand, like, the days you feel really good and you say good, nice things about yourself, or you don't say anything or whatever, you just feel it. You do have a better day, but I don't know how to stop those thoughts. They just come. Maybe it was
putting yourself down to make somebody else feel better about themselves because they're putting themselves down. Maybe you should just inform them about what it does to them when they think bad thoughts about themselves, and flip the whole conversation.
That's a good idea.
Putting yourself down too.
It's a good idea.
Not trying to come to the level.
Yeah, you should educate them instead.
Rosalind, it's a good idea, as long
as... That is a good idea.
It's a good idea what she just said and what you're thinking about doing, as long as that person is a willing participant, because more than anything, we are not supposed to interfere with the free will of other people. Or do any harm. So if that person is open and willing to hearing about it, just say, You know, there's another perspective. If you'd like to hear it, I'll tell you. And if they say, "Oh, I'd love to hear it," then tell them. But if they say, "I could care less," then don't interfere, because you're interfering with the free will of that person, which is also one of the grand rules. People can choose to be however they want to be, and you know, if they're not willing to learn or listen after you said, you know, there's another perspective I can share with you if you want to hear it, and they can say yes or no or whatever, right? But at least they're making the free will choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I did say something to one of my friends, and
We've got to be careful with that.
yeah, I did say something to one of my friends, and I think I did the right thing. When I got home from the hospital, I was trying to be so positive. I want to heal well and keep everything going right. And she called and she was talking all this real bad doom and gloom about the world and everything. I said, "Can I ask you a question?" And she's like, "What?" And I said, "Can you only tell me something positive? Because you're
Yeah.
pulling me down and I'm trying really hard to stay up."
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day she sent me a really positive video, like people that don't worry or think bad live longer or something. I thought, okay, so she understood. But was that wrong to say that?
No, no, not at all. I
Because
mean,
it did make a difference. Like she's communicating much differently now.
yeah, no. As long as you say it the right way, there's nothing wrong with saying it.
Okay. All right. Because it actually worked out. But then I'm thinking, well, am I being bossy saying that? Like,
No.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Protecting your own
She,
energy. Protecting your own energy is number one, right? You
okay.
gotta
Well,
live. You
that's
gotta live inside of this body. You're in charge of your own magnetism, your own blood chemistry, and your own magnetism.
mhm.
You know, so the things that you want to allow in, you know, you need to
It's up to
speak.
you.
It's up to you. You need to say,
Yeah.
Excuse me, but this subject matter." You know, a lot of people used to think that people that are positive all the time are flighty and there's something wrong with them. But
Yeah.
a,
People
a,
make fun of me sometimes because
a
I'm
lot of
happy.
a lot of people think that, you know, they're just being that way to be that way for no reason. They don't understand that it's blood chemistry. Like when you know the truth, it's your blood chemistry, your
People
own.
that are miserable think people are doing that to be annoying and rub it
That's
in their
Yeah.
face because
that's
they're
it.
just miserable and
Yeah.
they can't see it being real.
Yeah. Angie in the morning.
The science behind it tells the story. Like we have peer-reviewed, repeatable science that explains all of the foundation of this. That's why I started with that in the first place, is
Okay.
to show that we can have excellent blood chemistry, we can have good energy, we can have great magnetism where serendipitous things are happening to us all the time that are wonderful. And it's because of our magnetism, and it's because of what we allow in, what we express, what we do not judge, what we, you know, the value of being a certain way is rewarding. And
Yeah, it is. Like every day's a gift.
and once you fully grasp it all and you start to live it, it can be fun, Debbie. It can be a lot of fun once you fully get it.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends asked me once at work, "Is there anybody you hate?" And I'm like, I don't know, probably somebody. But I can't even think of it off the top of my head at the time. But she said, "You talk with all the staff, like the
Are you sure
cleaners,
at that
everybody's your."
time you didn't have anyone to name?
What's that?
Are you sure at that time of your life you didn't have anyone to name that could be in this chat?
No, I really, I don't. And it was Margot, and she's like, she says you're so cool to hang around with because you'll just talk with everybody. You don't say, "Oh, they're just a cleaner. I'm not going to talk to you." There was a big hierarchy in the hospital, and I liked everybody. Yeah, I guess that, unless they did me wrong, then I guess you stay away from them, but I don't know. Some people would say you're kind of simple because you're always smiling. That's not very nice. Yeah. Like they were, I don't know, maybe jealous.
You worked with a lot of really like people that had miserable type lives, so they're
Different characters. And we could have written a good book, but I would be judgmental.
We have all been that way, and you know, a lot of times we catch ourselves and we're still doing it because it's so deeply ingrained in us. And
I think I was extremely judgmental years ago. Like, I really feel
everybody goes into judgment and out of judgment depending on their emotion about the situation they're in or the people they're interacting with. It's a human thing. It's naturally in us because of our whole upbringing, our entire lives. We've learned that judgment is a part of life. And
yeah, don't be like the neighbors and stuff.
now we're finding out that it is judgment that has kept us in the places that we are, where we haven't reached the goals we want to reach because of the currency of the life force energy and to do with judgment.
It'd be interesting, like if that Bruce and the other guy had a baby. Who's it? Bruce and Greg? They didn't have children, did they?
They had a baby?
Not together. I meant no. I didn't mean together. I meant I know Greg said he had no children. I don't know about Bruce, but it'd be interesting if they raised their children on these values right from the beginning.
Well, the thing is,
So they didn't go to school judging. It would be so interesting to see how they turned out.
anyone that goes to public school gets ruined by the system.
Both of those men that you're talking about are absolutely close to 70 or well into their 70s. And
yeah,
all of the subjects that we are talking about right now, have only been predominantly in their minds. I'm going to say 20 years, but maybe 30 maximum. And their children would have already had to go through all that judgment, whether they had them or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, because one was a geologist and one was a doctor, wasn't he?
Doesn't seem fair that we don't find wisdom until it's too late.
I know, eh?
It's never too late.
Well, it would be nice to find it before you have kids.
But you could have treated them different.
The value, Rosalind, is that it's happening when it's supposed to happen. Like you have to trust that. You're a lot younger than I am, and you're finding out about it way before I would have, age-wise. So there's value in that. You'll be able to use it longer. But the value of finding it out isn't just it's so that you can become whole. Like once you start to use this stuff as it is actually a part of you and you become it, that's when all the gifts come in. That's when magnetism happens and all your power comes back in. Because you can't just say you're doing it or do it once in a while. You actually start doing it and you become consciously aware.
On holidays. Yeah.
You become you become consciously aware that it's a new way of life for you to be.
Yeah.
And then once you make that switch and you fully do it, then everything changes for you, for the better. It has to. It's the law of the energy, the frequency, the magnetism. See, it's not about what we do and what we say so much as it is the frequency. And it's those things that bring in the right frequency.
So I guess it's basically a lifelong project on that, the way we were raised and trying to be not that way.
Well, that was, but I mean, now it's just, once you have this aha moment that there's a new way to be, where you actually embody the fact that you're an angelic being having a human experience, and you come from that perspective, your perspective changes. You are now an angelic being having a human experience instead of a human being having a human experience. There's more to you than there's more to you than you thought there was. And once you fully realize that, take it on as a belief and start to live that way and live by those grand rules out of judgment, everything changes. And then you see the value of the heart coherence and the blood chemistry and the energy, and everything becomes wonderful and serendipitous.
Do you remember Nanny,
A million
my
percent,
mom's mom?
100%,
She
absolutely.
she was 100% non-judgmental.
Yeah, no, I'm very
She
aware.
loved everybody, like all the old
Maggie,
farmer on his tractor would come over to visit. The artist that smoked pot would come over to visit,
yeah,
and she took them all into her arms. And then, she was just amazing.
yeah.
I've always wanted to strive to be like her because I think she was the best soul in the world.
Maggie Orden.
Margaret.
Maggie.
Countess Margarita Diorgan Dzinski. And my dad would go, "Oh shit," when he heard that.
Don't you meet Princess Consuela Banana Hammock?
Yeah, but I always, I always thought that she just had a way with people. Like she just loved everybody. She never talked anybody down. Nobody was lower than her
Yeah.
or higher than her or whatever. Yeah, and I wish she had some of this information because she was doing it naturally.
She has all of this information now because it's a natural way to be when you're in your soul. It's not a natural way to be in the human body because you haven't learned it yet. And
Do you think this is bizarre? But do you think maybe she was been here a few times and got it right?
thousands of times.
And like she was an older soul, like not, I don't mean because of her age, but I mean, do you think that she was an older soul that had perfected?
Yes.
Yeah, because
And,
there's not many people you meet like that. Like she was phenomenal.
yeah. I was, aware how wonderful she was the whole time. But,
Yeah, I remember you said when you first met her, nobody's ever hugged me like that. That's weird. Like, because she took you into her. Like when she put your arms around her, there was no conditions. Like she just, yeah.
she knew something energetically, like frequencies that
And I
attract.
always felt good being around her too. Like some people, you'd visit and you'd have fun, but being with her, we didn't even have to talk.
That's what I was just saying. Frequency.
Yeah.
So there are magnetic frequencies where people are just in that energy that you want to be around. That's called magnetism.
Yeah.
It's called magnetism, and the things that kind of a person wants is magnetically attracted to them. So they've got a huge amount of magnetism working in a lot of different ways. That's a really good example of magnetism.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I always felt she was different. I never met anybody like her ever again.
What?
The cat says.
Look at the animals. That's just Indian.
My cat already begged for her food. I just had to go get it for her.
This cat's got food 24 hours a day. It's never been without food for 5 minutes in its life.
My cat
really
is now spoiled all of a sudden. I started feeding
it's
it
a
wet
beautiful
food.
size. Like he's not
Now, Mom, Dan now gets 4 servings of wet food a day. Or 3, sorry.
Sometimes. What happened to 3?
Listen, you guys,
I guess it's 8 o'clock.
After 8 o'clock, and you can have your conversation on your telephones.
Okay,
Anyway,
no, that was good today.
It was really good.
It helped me understand a little bit about it. I know there's a lot more to go, but I think I'm going in the right direction.
Well, the whole point of me sending that video was to bring this subject into play for the Grand Rules class, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah. And it's
So,
one of the hardest, I
Debbie,
think.
Debbie, watch that movie or that video on the Judgment, the last one.
And you
It's
said,
a,
what's it
it's
on?
a. I texted it to you. It's the last video I texted to you. It's Wisdom from North podcast. You'll see it.
Okay, I will look at it.
It's about judgment.
Okay.
Same one.
I'm going to watch it again
I
after
started
this.
watching it, but I don't remember it saying anything about judgment.
Yeah.
It's completely about judgment.
I only was able to watch the first 10 minutes because I ran out of
Hold
time.
on. Let me check which one I sent to you, Rosalind. Just a second here.
Only ones I got was Greg Brady.
Yeah. So that's you, Rosalind. That's the one about judgment.
Okay, it doesn't say anything about that in the first 10 minutes, but
Oh,
I didn't. It was only the intro, pretty much, that I was able to watch, which was quite long.
That's you, Debbie. That's the one on judgment. But it's the second. It's the second last one. It's not the last one. It's the one before that.
Oh, the one before?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Wisdom from North podcast. It's completely, that whole video is completely about judgment. It gets into it. You'll see it, Rosalind.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, well, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You too.
Have a good night.
Oh, you're just dead.